असङ्गोऽहम् 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 पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहम् निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहम् निरवद्योऽहम् निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यक्षचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहम् प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः मायातत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वगोऽस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहम् सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिः शिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिः शिवोऽस्म्यहम्।
Hari Om, good evening, a very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's pray together. Sato ma Sadgamaya Tamam Soma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vedveshavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, the Omnipresent, to such a Supreme, Divine, Almighty, who also has the divine name as Swavashaha, to him we offer with utmost obeisance our humblemost salutations, to seek His grace, His love, His mercy, His kindness, His benevolence, His affection, His forgiveness. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities like Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti and Mumukshutva in a much more enhanced proportion. This is only and only to understand Thy true self right within our hearts. As a first-hand experience, Aparoksha Anubhuthi of Thy true self, we have heard that You are in our hearts, but we are not able to see You. Only and only with Your grace and help this can be possible. We again and again beseech in You to grant us this rarest of the rare privilege. Give us all that is required to achieve this state of mind. Our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. with the utmost grace of the Almighty and the blessings of the Guru Parampara. Today we are on our Divine Discourse number 429 and the 17th episode of the Aparoksha Anubhuthi. On the 10th of June 2025, Swasti Shri Vishwavasunama Samvatsara Uttarayana Grishma Rutu Jyeshta Masa Shukla Paksha Bhaumavasare Chaturdasyatitau Anuradha Nakshatra Siddhinama Yoga Bhadrak Karane Vata Savitri Paurnima. On this auspicious day of Vata Savitri Purnima, the day of Tuesday and the time of the evening, we once again take a solemn pledge, an oath, with a determined mind, backed with the grace of the Almighty. O Lord, Naham Karta Hari Karta Hari Preranaya Hari Prityartham. I do nothing. Whatever is happening is all happening by your ordinance. If at all with ignorance, if I feel that I am doing anything, I offer it as my humble prayer, devotion and love towards you. Bless us all to stay with this knowledge and know that as lakhs and lakhs of reactions are happening in our body, in the same way the external actions also are happening only and only because of that divine consciousness within us. What we need is to get established in this knowledge, and that can happen only with the Krupa of Ishvara. Our salutations once again to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om. Good evening to all of you once again. So now we are going to go very slow. No, reason is, having crossed these paths, I know where we are going to get stuck. Which are the areas which will definitely put us into, rather we can say, as trouble. So I'm going to avoid those areas. See, we are not following any curriculum or a particular course material. So naturally what happens is, when you have to go by a course material, you have to just finish whatever has to be taught. But our intention is result oriented. It is not to make us pandits or not to make us great scholars who know about this Vedanta, who can talk about Vedanta. It's not about that. Our focus has to be that we are going to practice Vedanta, imply Vedanta in our life. And for that we are listening and studying. We are not studying for the sake of telling that we know this. No. Our study is purely from the angle of practicing and making it a reality in our life. That is our foremost and important point. So when I say that I'm going to take you slow, I'll give you a metaphor. Like, imagine you have your daughter who is now in the advanced stage of delivering a baby. Suddenly she comes and tells you, Mama, I'm getting pains. I think we need to rush to the hospital. Now you call for the driver. He's not there. He has taken a leave that day. And you try to call your husband and you call whoever you can. Nobody is available. Now what you do is you say, yes, I know driving. I know where the hospital is. Let me take my daughter. Now, you see, now it's such a very important stage. Like you have very little time and you know how much time it takes to go to a particular place. And you know the place very well, where there are potholes, where there are deep curves, all that you know. So you will be able to actually maneuver all the hurdles and hassles which you are going to face en route. You may even take a detour here and there. Where to accelerate and where to go absolutely safe. That only a mother can understand, because she knows what is carrying a baby and what is delivering a baby. So in the same way, here it is, we are in the same boat. Me and you all are grahasthas. I know exactly what a grahastha can face as a problem per se. See, if I was a sannyasi, if I don't have a family, then what would I know about the troubles of a family? What would I know about the troubles of this social being? So this way, as I mentioned to you, to cover the portion is not important, because the same thing is told everywhere. Understand that carefully, and you must have already realized by now. It is that one same fact which is again and again reiterated several times to us. So that is purely from the point of view it is just to give us that knowledge where we need to be established in us. So in this way, now what I am going to do is take you again back a little, tell you the basics, and then move ahead. You may be wondering, why am I saying this? The point is, I want certain facts to rewire in your brain. This is not what we are doing, it is what the divine is doing. And when the divine is doing something, let it do in its own way. We will not interfere in that process. Okay? So, now we start our journey. Let's go back to the pure consciousness, that is Paramatma. And when He and He alone is everything, and we are seeing a world out here, we are seeing so many human beings, animals, the plant kingdom, then you have the world of fishes, water life. All this, when we see, we have the stars, the mountains, the rivers, deserts. Now, we see all this, and then he calls them as Mithya. Mithya means it is, what comes to our mind is it's false, but it's not the case. We have understood in our previous class, Mithya means not false, it lives on a borrowed reality. Get this straight. It is not false. What the world you are seeing is not false. We are not false. Everything you come across which is under the perception of all your five senses is not false, but it doesn't have a reality of its own. Okay. Now, how does this Paramatma operate? He has Ishvara, and along with Ishvara he has got Maya. Maya Shakti. Now this Maya Shakti is the one which creates an illusion. It makes something appear which is actually not. Like how a magician does. You mean to say that magician is able to remove so many coins from his hat? If he had that capacity, then why would he have to earn by doing a magic show? He could have become a billionaire. It is not that, he's just making them appear. So Maya has got two important powers. One is Avarana Shakti and the other one is the Vikshepa Shakti. When we say Maya, it operates like when we say a person, he has got two hands, two legs. So in the same way, Maya operates with her two powers, Avarana and Vikshepa. Avarana is the Sanskrit term. How do you understand this? That which hides. Avarana. It puts a veil, a hide. It hides the thing which is behind the veil. No? Avarana. Vikshepa means it projects something which is not there. So now going by these facts, now what we have to understand here essentially is the Avarana is we do not know our true nature. That is hidden by Maya. Otherwise, what is our true nature? It is nothing but that of that Supreme Lord. We are nothing but an essence of Him. Okay, so He has hidden it. Avarana. And then Vikshepa, what it is doing, it is telling us that, don't you see yourself? This body, this mind, this person, these qualities, whatever you are experiencing, it is you. He gives you that Jiva Bhava. It projects you as a Jiva, as a Jivatma. Now this is the major issue what we have got in front of us. As they say, if you understand the problem, you have solved it 50%. Many a times, why we fail in life is we don't understand the problem. Because we don't listen and we don't try to understand. If we have not understood, we don't even ask the other person for clarification. See, everywhere it is that ego which comes in between. So, having known our problem, now from this particular point of view, we are moving ahead. Because so far what has happened? Bhagavan Shankaracharya is clearly telling us, hey fool, what are you considering you to be this Jiva? How can you be this Jiva? You are taking this body, this mind, these senses and the Atma, because you know that if that Atma or that prana is not there in you, you are going to die. You know that much. All that you have mixed up and put into one basket. You have done something massively wrong. So it tells you, he is first trying to, that Vikshepa, that wrong understanding what is there, he says, come out of that. This projection, come out. And how does he start now? Verse 12 to 16, he starts with Vicharana. Vicharana means inquiry. You have in every public place, you have something called as inquiry. In a bus stand, you have an inquiry. Railway station, you have an inquiry. Airport, you have an inquiry. Means what? If you want to know something, go there and inquire. You'll get to know. So here he's saying, you want to know what is your true self. Make this vicharana. Soyamidrishaha. He says, this is the way of inquiry. And then he starts his process. His inquiry goes on, and then from verse 17 to 21, he again comes to the next level. He says, Tayoraikyam prapashyanti kimajnanam ataparaha. But you mean to say you still consider these two as one? I have not seen a bigger fool than you. How can a donkey and a horse be one? How can an apple and a banana be one? There can't be greater ignorance than this. And there he tries to say, Atman is only one, whereas the body has got several parts. Atman is something which is situated inside. It is the controller, whereas the body is external and it is controlled. And the Atman is auspicious because it is pure consciousness. And the body is impure and inauspicious. Then he says Atman is the illuminator and it gives light to everything, whereas body is something which is illumined and inert. Atman is eternal, whereas body dies at one point. It is transient and non-existent at one point. So this way, he is first trying to tell us, you are not this, by segregation. You are not this. This is the vikshepa, the wrong projection which you have seen by yourself. Come out of that. And then verse 24 to 28 he says, Naham deho hyasadrupaha jnanamityuchyate budhai, he says, I am not this body, the unreal. This body is unreal. Because somebody you saw yesterday and he died in an accident is not there anymore. You will not get a trace, you will not even get his one finger or even a fingernail. Everything is burnt, gone or buried. So after segregating the body, the mind, the senses and the Atman, he now says, you know now, am I clear? This is different, this is different. And then he once again says, this the wise call as real knowledge. And he describes about the Atman again. And then verse 31 to 37, which is the fourth series, what we call as Katam Syat Deha Kapuman. Katam Syat Deha Kapuman means, how can this again Atman and the body be one and the same? By now, we have understood, oh, now I got to know. Yes. It is like I am staying in a house. Okay, I have my house. And in my house, I have got various gadgets. I have got a TV, I have got a washing machine, I have got a vacuum cleaner, I have got fans, I have got ACs, I have got mixies, a stove. All these are the apparatus which help me in living my life. Now, am I not different from them? Let's say if the mixie breaks down, you mean to say you broke down? No. If suddenly the TV breaks down, you have not broken down. It is you are staying in that house and these are all the apparatus. In the same way, the you, meaning the Atman, and this body, the four walls and all that you're calling it, that is the body. And the various senses, organs, whatever are there in your entire body, they are nothing but the apparatus. Now, understand this carefully, this example. You are only seeing them, all these apparatus, and you are making use of them, very clearly knowing that I am different from them. There is a car outside the house. Now, that car is different from me. If the car breaks down, I have not broken down. So, in this way, now you there meaning you are the Atman. So, don't consider both to be one. Just because they are together, everything is not one and the same. So, in this way, now Bhagavan Shankaracharya is trying to make us understand that look, first what you saw, that everything is combined together, they are different things. And then the first step, the first step what he tries is that vikshepa, that wrong projection which is given to us, he corrects that. Okay, and now from verse 42 onwards, for the next almost 48, 49 verses, he goes on telling you, he takes a U-turn. He takes a U-turn. And he says, how can you say that this body, mind is apart from consciousness? Because its existence comes from consciousness. We'll understand this. Now, how to make you understand? Now, you see a gold ornament. And now what have you considered? You say, this is an ornament. This is my necklace. But he says, do you understand? Now, understand the principle of that borrowed existence. Mithya. This necklace is Mithya. If anybody says that, he says, what are you talking? It's there in front of me. And when I wear it, I get so many compliments. If I need money, I can keep it in the bank and raise so much of money. Or if I want to sell it and buy something, some other jewelry, I can do this. This weighs so much in weight. This has so much of value. You give all these details. But now what the person is trying to tell you is This is Mithya, meaning the gold is the reality and this ornament is of borrowed existence. Without gold, there cannot be a gold necklace. But there can be gold without the necklace. So, this whole study is about the interrelatedness, which is the higher reality. That's all. Go by that fact. Now we are trying to go higher and higher and higher and go to the highest reality. Otherwise, everything at the bottom, because there is an Ekameva Advitiya Brahma. There is only one consciousness which has pervaded the entire universe. So when there is only one, rest all has to be that only. But amongst that, which is the coming at the topmost level, or which is that reality? That comes in all the gold ornaments. The reality is gold. So that is what he's trying to make us understand over here. Okay, now you understand this. And then he will take you to the next level in what I said in the next 48 verses. He tells you, now that you have understood you are not this person, because this is subject to death at any point. You don't know. You may be healthy, you may be absolutely fit like a fiddle, but you may meet an accident and you may not be there the next moment. So this Atman will not die. What is there in you, which is the Paramatma Tattva, that will be ever there. If you understand the difference, now which you have considered to be this Jiva, come out of that. And what has been doing that? The veiling power has been, this obscuration has been done by Maya Shakti. And just that knowledge of knowing this, we get out of the samsara chakra. See the beauty. Just to know this and stay with that. Not only samsara chakra. The moment you realize this, I'll tell you, you will start getting feelings of the highest order. Like Kritakritya. Kritakritya means whatever I have to do in life, I have done. Jnatasya jnata. Whatever I want to know in life, I know everything. Praptavya prapti. Whatever I want to gain in life, I have gained already. What more is left? Today, why are we disturbed? We want to gain something. We want to know something. And we want to do something. Isn't it? These are the three main aspects which we all are struggling every day. You finish one, then again another one pops up. And we are in that cycle. But once you understand your true nature, this is one of the parameters which immediately strike you, and it will keep you always in a state of solitude and peace, contentment, fulfillment. There is chaos around. Doesn't matter. When I say solitude, meaning you are not going to go somewhere and you're alone sitting, under a banyan tree, far away in the woods. No. You are in the midst of people, but you are in solitude. Okay. So likewise, I'll tell you several other things which you will start experiencing. Beautiful insights come out of this knowledge, to such an extent that even if you will gain the capacity of seeing a problem as that Lord and Lord alone. Can you beat this? Because we are operating with our mind, today we get entangled with problems, trying to solve them, trying to overcome them, trying to bypass them. But once you cross the stage of the mind, then you will be able to experience that superfluous state, where even that problem also will appear to you as nothing but the divine presence. Okay. Now, my own findings, which I said I will share with you, I'll give you this before we proceed. And by God's grace, what I've been seeing is on every Ekadashi day, the Dwadashi, the next morning, where you have completed almost 36 hours of fast, and the previous day you've been only chanting, you're doing Swadhyaya, then you're writing the Bhagavad Gita. See, all this, where you're completely merged in the divine thoughts. And at the same time, when you are practicing Mauna, so your energy and your consciousness, it raises to another level. And the next day morning, when you get up, you get some beautiful insights. Now, what I always pray is, oh Lord, tell me how to explain what you are experiencing. That is the problem. See, you know what it is, how it is, but how do I explain? That becomes a problem. And that comes as that kind of a clarity comes over there. And one of the Ekadashis which is related to this particular subject, I will share with you right now. Okay. Now you have that consciousness which is enveloping the entire universe. Now it operates with the body, mind, senses, the prana, the intellect, memory, all this aham bhava, and here this is one aspect where it operates with all these, and this is in the waking state, where you have everything. You have the body, you have the mind, you have the senses, prana, everything. Okay. Now that is the reason we experience our waking state to be real. Now there is another state which we have. As you go to bed, you sleep. It is only your mind which is projecting a different world, a different life, different characteristics, different places, desha, kala, vastu, everything changes. There you don't have the senses, nor you have the mind. It's like, as I told you, you are the Atman who is staying in a house. Now, when you are into too many things, you are operating everything. You are operating the washing machine, you are operating the mixie, you are operating the fridge, you are operating the stove. See, so many gadgets you are operating. So here, as your activity starts slowing down, then your operating of the gadgets also slows down. So from the waking state, you come to the state of your mind, dream. So there only your mind is operating. The world, entire world is perceived in your mind alone. Get this properly. Whereas, although in a waking state, the world is perceived within your own mind, but backed by so many other gadgets which you have, like the senses and the body. But here there is no body, no senses. In a dream state, you are completely operating only with your mind, and you're projecting your entire world. Okay, now go to the deep sleep state. There is no mind also over there. No mind, no senses, no body. Only that feeling of nothingness, extreme nothingness. So hence there is no perception of the world. And in the middle state, dream state, there is perception, but without the senses. And in the waking state, there is perception backed with senses, so it feels real. Okay, now, who is seeing all these three states? I'm going to the basics. Combination of various aspects of our entire study till date. Reason is, now in this Aparoksha Anubhuti, we are at the culmination state. I'm sure you'll all get it, provided you all have done your homework appropriately, understood whatever has been taught so far has been done appropriately. So now, these three states, who is watching? Just like the owner in the house, he watches the TV, he watches the fridge, he watches the fan, the AC, all the gadgets he is watching. So body, mind, senses are all nothing but gadgets, which is being used by the Atman over here. There the owner is using. So in this way, who is seeing all these three states? That consciousness alone is the one who is seeing all these three states at one point of time. Okay, mind associated with the aham bhava, that becomes the knower, the observer, the experiencer, which we call as the jnata, the karta, the bhokta in Sanskrit. Now, we the so-called jivas who have been under the veiling power, avarana shakti, we are in this deha bhava. I am this person. How I can make my self look better? How I can gain more knowledge? How I can be a better person? See, all this is, you are only looking at your body, mind, senses. Deha bhava. So we are presumed to be this person, and in ignorance we are always stuck in this conglomerate. Now the fact is, our true nature is the witness of this jiva who grants sentiency to the jiva. Just like the light in a room. Now there is a light in a room. There are several people coming, going. Say, some may come and sing a bhajan, some may come and fight, some may come and dance, some may come and have a wonderful discussion. Now that light has got nothing to do. So your nature is not the gadgets, but the person who owns the house and the gadgets. That shift we have to make over here. Just like there is a car and there is petrol in the car. Now the petrol gives energy to the car. Now wherever the car is going, however the car is going, whomever it is taking, it has got nothing to do. Just like the light of a room. So this is the point. You have to move yourself. I am not these gadgets. But the higher reality is, I am the owner of the one house who is using these gadgets. In the same way, I am that Atman, which is granting sentiency to this jiva. So you're moving now slowly. So what is that vikshepa which is there? Wrong projection. You have understood it now. That vikshepa. So observe in every action this particular concept, moving from the jiva bhava to the sakshi bhava. Today we are going to take up a wonderful meditation session also. In fact, I have just started it yesterday in the Kannada class, but it is very appropriate to do it now, so that once you understand these basics, then you know whatever they are talking, you will say, oh, I already know it, I can understand it very well, because you have understood the crux. Okay, so now, for example, now I am talking. Okay, now what is happening is, my lips are moving, my tongue is moving, my vocal cords are producing some sound, my eyes are seeing, my ears are hearing, my hands are moving, mind is analyzing what I am talking. Now ego is saying, I am doing all this. It comes like that. Who is doing? I am doing. Snap it. All these are instruments being used by the Atman. This is the crux of what I told you just now. Every action, understand this, that wherever aham is coming there, snap it or catch it by its neck, strangle it. Aham, no, you are not the one who is doing it. It is that Sakshi, that Atman, that energy which is coming from the sentiency, which is coming from the Atman, that is the one which is doing all this. So in this way, because of that, this is all happening. Now once you come to this understanding, then you are in a state of, your mood almost to the next level, but that's not the ultimate level again. So that you will get to understand when we do the meditation course today. To reach that state of samadhi, now what we are going to learn, just now where I have given now a preface to that, this is the stage where we are. Moving from the body, mind, consciousness, we slowly come to our true state, which is that Sakshi Bhava. I am the one who is seeing everything, but I am not them. So the seer is different, the seen is different, and I am only the seer, the witness. So this way one needs to slowly start moving to the higher levels. Okay. Now what does this Vedanta teach us? It teaches that the moment we truly know who we are, we become free from all suffering, right here and right now. Now, in this very life, not after going somewhere else. How is that possible? Take the example of a dream. The moment you get up, all that was worrying you in a dream, all that was giving you comfort in a dream, does that remain? It just goes like this. Because you know, array, it is a dream. If you are experiencing something good, you said, array, why did I get up? If you are experiencing something horrible, you will say, thank God I got up. Isn't it? So when you go to the higher state, just now what I told you, what are the three states? Where in a waking state, everything looks real because you have the senses operating, your body operating, and that is giving you that first-hand experience. Whereas in a dream, you don't have that first-hand experience. Only it is the mind, no senses are there. Imagine like you're watching a movie where there is no sound, no color, compared to a movie which has got the Dolby sound system and it has got multicolor, and it has also that HD light effect, what we say. Now when it has the high density color, imagine how much liveliness is there. In the same way, now we are carried away by the waking state because of that liveliness. So now, just like in the dream which appears to be false when we get up, in the same way when you are awake and you move to the state of awakened, that is awakening, awakened, what happens? That is the next level. Then you will realize, oh, from dream I came to waking, I felt that the dream was false. From the waking state I go to the awakened state, then I know that the waking state also is false. That is how. Otherwise you may say, what is he saying? How can you get rid of all suffering? When you know that true nature. So now here Vedanta reveals to us our true nature, which is nothing but that infinite existence consciousness again. That is one power which is there, and you are not what you have thought to be, because there is a wrong projection. And the avarana to this, avarana means the covering to your true nature. Understand your true nature. So all this journey will be only about this now. So you know what you have to attain. So once you get this, so to realize this is being liberated, free from suffering, and you're established in bliss. Now I know my true nature is Satchidananda. Yes, I understand. What is Satchidananda? That the entire universal power is nothing other than you. Then why am I a limited person? Because you're playing a role over here. You're playing a role, that's all. And that role can be of a beggar, it can be of a king, it can be of a moderate person, it can be of a very wealthy person, it can be of a very miserable person, a sick person, a healthy person, prosperous person, a failure, it can be anything. Understand it to be a role which you are playing in this consciousness. Now you are the producer. You can be any character in a movie, but you know that this entire movie belongs to me. I am the producer, I am the director, I am the script writer. So that feeling is there. But I am playing the role of a beggar or an ordinary person, a peon in some office or something, or a taxi driver, or auto driver, or something like that. So that is the very aim. So however the problem becomes clear immediately, we don't actually see ourselves as Satchidananda. And in fact, we are firmly convinced that we already know who we are. So this false certainty is the greatest obstacle to enlightenment. So as we move on this path, once we start getting the insights more and more clear. Now, remember one thing, most important is Shravana, listening carefully. Second most important is understanding it. And if possible, you please write it down and then read for yourself, and you will know how much you have understood. Okay. Once you do that, and then comes that nididhyasana where it seeps into yourself. Allow that to happen. And then the rest is all automatic. You don't have to do anything. Why we fail is we don't give importance to this knowledge. Whenever I get time, I listen, and there is so much of disturbance. In that disturbance, you listen, and then you don't revise it again. You have so many doubts which you have never, when you have not listened properly, where will you get doubts? So you have not moved ahead, and you will say, what Vedanta, I've been studying for 5 years and all the troubles are still the same. In fact, I've got more troubles in life now. That is clearly shows that you are not doing the things in the right way. My personal experience, and with staunch sadhaks, I have seen that transformation. And that gives me the confidence to say this. And that gives me the confidence to take detours here and there, because what we learn is not important. What we practice is important in our lives. Okay. So now, in the verse 24, which we read last time, so he says the division of that Atma apart from the body and mind was only to remove that wrong understanding that you are the body. Dehatmavatvam. So it says ityatma dehabedena dehatmatvam nivaritam idanim dehabedasya syasyatvam sputamuchyate. This is what we learnt. Clear demarcation. You are not this body. So once this notion that we have got to remove, I am not this person whom I have thought, and you realize what is this true consciousness. Idanim. Now he says, Idanim means now, hereafter. Then he takes a remarkable step. He says, what we shall proceed to do is show that non-duality. How can there be duality? Advaita Vedanta is that there is only one supreme power, which even physicists now talk about. So that non-duality, there is no second thing apart from that consciousness, then which you can call body or mind or universe. So he says, now we have really separated, but now we understand that everything is one and one alone. Now there is no problem. The Vikshepa Shakti is gone, the Avarana Shakti is gone. I know both very clearly now. Being established in my true self, I look at the body and mind now as not me as a person, but the apparatus which I am using. Earlier what I thought, I was the apparatus. But now I know that I am the user of the apparatus. So understand, this entire learning is only about that knowing the higher and higher reality. Now you see moonlight. Just like today is a full moon day, Purnima. You see moonlight. And then you look up, you say, wow. What a beautiful moon. And all this moonlight is because of that moon. No, that is so true, And somebody comes and says, what are you saying? This moonlight is false, that moon is false. That means what? There is something higher to reality than what you just now saw and what that person is saying. This moonlight is because of that moon, but that moon is operating from a borrowed existence which comes from the sun. It is nothing but the sun rays falling on the moon which is reflecting this moonlight. So what did you do now? You went to the higher reality. You came to know that the moon is a Mithya. It is borrowed existence. Sun is the true reality behind the moonlight and the moon. So in the same way, now whatever I am experiencing over here is all coming because of that Atman. And now we are going to take that big step forward, saying that oneness, once you get this oneness in everything I see, I perceive, I hear, I taste, I experience, in everything it is nothing other than consciousness, then we have won the game. That stage we have to reach. So for that you have to start seeing oneness in everything around us. Now for so many millions of lives, anything we look at somebody, immediately our mind will say, it will start making comments. No way concerned. Why is that person wearing such bright clothes? Or why is that person having such long hair? What is that color of that clip? Irrelevant things. Now that is where the mind is putting you down. So immediately hack the mind. Catch hold of it. Says none of your business. And bring this knowledge to your forefront. I or that person, we are all in the same film which is being made over here. And there is only one director, one producer to this entire movie. We are all actors over here. And now what you got to know? That there are no two. You are the owner of that film. So when you are the owner, whoever is there in the entire vicinity, they are none other than you and you alone. Okay? So after doing this verse 42, we'll go to verse 43 now. Shriharim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. So verse 43 says, I'll be breaking the sandhis for better understanding. Chaitanyasya ekarupatvat bedayuktah na karhichit jivatvam cha mrushagneyam rajau sarpagraha yatha. So as you can see, what this says is, because the consciousness is one everywhere, it is improper to attribute distinctions in it at any time. The sense of jiva is to be understood as a delusion, even as the idea of a snake in a rope. Now, all along these shlokas, you will be getting these kind of dictums, where it's going to talk only and only about, what they say is, everything is false what you're seeing over here. So now here he uses the example of, that is one consciousness. It is appearing as several other things. So just like you see, now you see a snake and you are suddenly terrified by the snake. But then you notice that it is a rope or a cable over there. Now what is that which is false? It is the snake. The rope is not false. The cable is not false. That is the true thing. But due to ignorance, you understood it as the snake, and that gave you that feeling of fear, anxiety, hatred. All this is caused because of the ignorance. Once you know your true nature, what have I got to do with this gadget? If not this TV, I'll get another TV. If not this washing machine, I'll get another washing machine. But since we have become that, then you will say, "Arey, what now? I'm broken, I'm broken." Anything which breaks, it is not you who have broken down. That is different and you are different. So don't consider this jiva as yourself. Now that is a major step which one we have to take, and that can happen only and only by knowledge. So now, how is our entire system operating now? You have a bucket. Bucket is compared to the body. Now this you have to understand carefully. Now there is water in the bucket. That water is compared to your mind. Okay. And now there is a sun up there which is shining on this bucket of water. And that sun is reflected in this water, where you see a small sun, a reflected sun. And that sun not only shines on the water, but it gives brightness to the entire bucket and the water. Very clear to understand? That is exactly what is happening in us over here. Now what is true over here? There is no sun on that water, and that there is no light. Of course you see light. Of course you are seeing a brightness. But all that is borrowed. What is the truth? Look up. When you look up, you see the real sun. That is that Paramatma. And this is the reflected consciousness, which is the Jivatma. Because this reflection has happened in this body, the so-called Jiva, bucket is the Deha. There is small bucket, big bucket, fat bucket, thin bucket, distorted bucket, and the water also, like the mind, pure water, shining water, sattvic mind, and unstable water, rajasic mind, dirty water, that is the tamasic mind. Now depending on your mind, that same sunlight, it reflects, and the sunshine, the brightness and the reflection also depends on the quality of the water, which depends on the quality of your mind. Now everybody is getting the same amount of sunshine. There is nothing that somebody who is very intelligent, somebody is very knowledgeable, you mean to say is getting something extra? No. It is only that his water is pure, his mind is pure. So now you should realize, where am I now? I am in this body. I know this body is different, and I am this observer in the body. See, for going to this stage of samadhi, this knowledge is very important, because now I'll take up the meditation session right now after this. We'll not go to the next shloka now. So, you are that reflected consciousness which is reflecting on your mind, and you are in this body, the so-called bucket, and now you realize that I am this reflected consciousness. First stage, I am the witness to all that which is happening in the bucket. That brightness which is there, it is coming because of me. That sentiency which is in this entire bucket is because of me. And I am got nothing to do with the water nor with the bucket. Is it not true? What has got that reflected sunlight to do with the bucket or the water? If the bucket breaks down, that reflected sunlight is gone. So because of the association and that Maya Shakti, what has happened now? We have considered everything to be one. Rather, we have considered ourselves to be the bucket and the water. So now you know that you are that reflected consciousness, and then the next level you have to think is, reflected consciousness means it's also called as Chidabhasa, or you can call it as Chetana Shakti. What we are experiencing now. Even this awareness is not my true self. My true self is that sun which is enveloped the entire universe, which is throwing light everywhere. That is my true self. So our journey has to go to that level. Now how to go there, what to do, we have got stages. In 3 stages we will be doing this meditation. So I'll be telling you the crux of the aspects in that meditation. You will correlate that to the knowledge which we are going to get now. One advantage you all are having is, in a much advanced stage we are talking about this. In fact, we are on 17 Aparoksha Anubhuthi, whereas Kannada we have yesterday completed 31. So 14 classes ahead. Now I have started this meditation for them. But when you are going to get it in an advanced, much earlier stage, along with the knowledge, you will be able to relate it well. So this way, that jiva, which is that individual person, which we all think to be right now, where we have that sense of ego also, aham bhava, as I told you, I am doing. So now you know what to catch hold of. Whenever that I comes, immediately catch it by its neck and snap it there. So say that, just look at everything as a pure witness. So this ego shines with that reflected consciousness. And that's that little person who says, I must do this, I must gain that, I must achieve this, I am happy, I am sad, I am miserable. All that is happening to that reflected consciousness within us with that jiva bhava. We knowing very well that we are not the bucket, we are neither the water nor the sun which is reflected in the water. I am nothing but that pure sun. See, what we believe so many things in life. Now this is the Vedas are telling us, the Bhagavad Gita is telling us, the Prakarana Granthas are telling us, the Upanishads are telling us, oh my dear, your real nature is not this, your real nature is that. Why are we not believing? When we have got the grace to get this knowledge, which everybody doesn't get, even though you tell them, they'll run away. Those who do not deserve this. And there are some who are there half-minded, and slowly they'll slip away. But when it has come to your hand, our job is to carefully pick it up and put it in our mouth and enjoy the taste. So our only effort is, you have to stay focused on this. So now what he's trying to say, very simple example. He's just trying to say that that consciousness is one everywhere, and that sense of jiva, as I gave you this example now, it is nothing but like you have mistaken that reflected consciousness, that snake. But what is the true self? The rope, which is the sun up there. So this way you have to understand your true self, and in that state of mind, you slowly detach yourself from that jiva bhava and come to the sakshi bhava. First step. Okay. So we'll now move straight to, we'll do the Vishnu Sahasranama. I've taken only one Nama, Svavashaha, and we'll have enough time for that meditation. I'll go on reading it in the sense, question answer. What you have to do is listen to that carefully, and now that recording is there, you can again keep listening, especially in the morning hours, and allow it to go into your mind. So let it allow. As they say, marination. Now you cook food, and then after you have cooked everything, then you place a lid on top of it. You lower down the flame and you allow it to marinate. In the same way, this knowledge, in low flame, allow it to marinate. And let all the spices properly get absorbed in the contents of the food. Then it will enhance the taste of the dish you have made. Okay, so in this way, now keep listening. Why I've made it a question answer status is only to give that feeling of getting connected to that knowledge, and then I'll modify it to a straight process of meditation after we are thorough about it. Okay, so Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. So we do the Vishnu Sahasranama. Verse number 50. Swapana swavasho vyapihi naikatma naika karma krita vatsaro vatsalo vatsi ratnagarbho daneshwaraha. Swapanaha. One who puts, swavashaha is what we have to do today, 466. The one who has everything under his personal control, the totally independent. Since he is the supreme consciousness, all living creatures and phenomenal powers are functioning only and only by his grace, drawing their capacities to exist and act from him alone. Naham karta hari karta, that is what it's saying over here. If he withdraws his patronage, everything in this universe must stop functioning immediately. He is supremely independent, inasmuch as, though the world of objects need him, he is entirely self-sufficient and needs no world for his existence. Thus, he is totally free. The waves need the ocean, but the ocean is totally independent of the waves' existence. So, what do you mean by ocean over here? It is the water. The water is independent. It can stay without being a wave, but a wave cannot become a wave without water. So, what is the reality over here compared to the wave and the water? It is the water which is the reality. So, we are moving from the Jiva Bhava to the Paramatma Bhava. From one state of reality, we are moving to the next state of reality, which is the highest state of reality. That's the journey from samsara to moksha. That's the only thing. Moving to the higher state of reality. Okay. To such a magnificent Lord, we offer our humble salutations. Now we chant the Dhanvantari mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushada Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushada Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushada Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. To the Lord of Dhanvantari, we offer our humble salutations. Without good and appropriate health, nothing can be achieved in life. Health is nothing like having the right apparatus, functional and apparatus in the right condition. They enrich our life. In the same way, health enriches our life. So we pray to Lord Dhanvantari to grant us good health. Om Tat Sat. Now, please come, please relax, sit in a relaxed position. Now we are going to do the awareness meditation which will take us to the stage of samadhi. And obviously, when you reach that stage, self-realization, liberation, moksha, these are all apparent outcome. Let's sit in a comfortable position. Head, neck and spine in a straight line. Completely relax your body. See that your body is relaxed but yet straight. Primarily the spine. Relax your forehead, your face, neck, shoulders. Relax your chest, your entire upper body. Relax your waist and your legs. Now let's do Bhramari Pranayam 3 times. Please start. Let's do Anulom Vilom 3 times. Now we are in a complete relaxed state of mind. So the stage 1, from Aham Bhava to Sakshi Bhava. This will be the journey. In a very deep state of mind, understand what is the witness. The witness is that which sees all things come and go. The witness itself does not come and go. It is the changeless background in which all experiences arise and set. You can take the example of the screen as the witness and rest all characters which play on the screen as the experiences which arise and set. The witness is not a person. It is the light, the energy, the vibration in which everything is seen. In other words, it is the Chetana Shakti, the Chidabhasa, the reflected consciousness in which everything is experienced. Is the witness the same as the self? The self here means the Chaitanya Shakti or the Paramatma. The witness is a reflection of the self in the mind. Now these are extremely important for you to understand, to go to the higher levels of meditation. So what is the witness? The witness is a reflection of the self, meaning of the Paramatma or the consciousness in the mind. Now this entire process should start getting registered in your mind now. It is a step towards realization, but not the ultimate step. The Chaitanya Shakti or the Paramatma Tattva is beyond the witness. Just as you can observe all involuntary functions happening within your body, you're observing digestion happening, blood circulation happening, your heart is beating, your kidneys are functioning. Know that the outside perceptions, that is the thoughts, the memories, the actions are all happening by Prakriti and through the gunas, which is led by Maya, the consciousness. I'm going to give you some gaps so that you can soak the knowledge within yourself. The self is pure awareness, meaning that self is consciousness, Chaitanya Shakti, which is beyond the subject and object. Can the witness observe itself? The witness can only observe what is other than itself. just like the eyes. The eyes can see everything, but the eyes cannot see themselves. To know the witness as yourself is the end of illusion. Illusion here means Maya, wrong understanding. If you are able to understand that you are the witness, it is the end of illusion. Awareness is not aware of itself, it simply is. Now, this is the higher level now. Above the witness is awareness, consciousness. Is not aware of itself, it simply is. So the illusion of aham bhava is destroyed as the sadhak is deeply absorbed in the reflected consciousness. As I told you, if anywhere you feel you are the doer, snap it, catch hold by its neck and strangle it. You are just a witness. Again and again, take back your mind to that state of witness, not the doer. Now the question, how do I become the witness? You do not become the witness is the answer. Why? You are the witness already. Then you have forgotten, that's all. This is the Avarana Shakti. Why I have forgotten? Because it's covered. So pay attention. Observe your thoughts, your emotion, your body, your feelings. Watch all this that is happening in you as if it was happening to somebody else. Slowly the false self-identification, which is the aham bhava, will drop. What is the benefit of witnessing? The moment you become the witness, the Sakshi Bhava, you break the spell of identification. Identification means I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the sufferer. All that binds you to karma, and karma binds you to samsara, you immediately break the spell. This is the key. The moment you become the witness, you see things as they are. Transient and superficial. Meaning now you know the truth. It brings detachment, clarity, and peace. All hassles in life are only because of attachment, lack of clarity. You no longer drown in experiences. Is awareness beyond the witness? Yes. The witness is still a form of consciousness, dualistic, and it is dependent on the mind. Just like there is no water, there is no reflection, the witness is nothing but a reflected consciousness. So now here what has happened? From the stage of aham bhava, you have moved to the stage of a sakshi bhava. That much, if you can follow these steps and do this meditation, you will be out of the shackles of karma bandhana, what we call. Stage 2. Now what is this? That transition, understanding, preparing from the sakshi bhava to move towards the shuddha chaitanya. Okay, this is the stage 2. What does it say? Awareness is beyond both the witness and the witnessed. Awareness means the Paramatma Tattva or the Chaitanya Shakti is beyond the witness. That is, now you are witnessing the witness, okay? As Chaitanya Shakti, you have risen higher now, understand this. You are beyond the witness and all that the witness has witnessed, ED. It is pure being, timeless and spaceless. It is what you are. If you think it is something else, no, you are already that, only that you don't know. Now you know, but you have still not convinced and you are not accepting it. What is the difference between consciousness and awareness? Consciousness is always conscious of something. It is partial and changeful. Awareness is total, changeless, silent, and still. Awareness is not an experience. Now, if you want to go to that stage of experience, there should be no experiences. This says that awareness is not an experience. It is the background on which all experiences appear and disappear, just like the light in a room. Any experience in the room does not affect the light. Good, bad, ugly, sad. Now, stage 3. What happens when even the witness disappears? Then there is only awareness, pure and silent. This sense of separation ends. No one remains to say, I am aware. There is just awareness. It is the self. It is the real, the supreme truth. Can this awareness be described? No. It can be known only by being it. It has no attributes. You cannot see it, but without it, nothing can be seen. It is closer than the mind, closer than the I am. This is your true nature. End of stage 3. Now, to give you an idea from stage 2 to stage 3, what help can you take to reach that stage 3? So for that, master the first 2 stages, and then I'll share with you how to go about. And in the meantime, whatever knowledge we are getting through the text, that will help us a lot as well. Okay? Take a few deep breaths. Now start practicing the stage 1. Become a Sakshi Bhava from the stage of Aham Bhava. At every step, this is going to be a continuous exercise. Whenever you're talking to somebody, know that it is, I am a witness to this person talking. Now you become somebody to your own self. That is the biggest change which you're bringing in your life now. Although you say, I am talking, but you are different. You are the witness, and this body, mind, and senses are talking. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer today's Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord to seek His grace, mercy, and blessings. We are ever grateful, which we can't express in words, for having given us this rarest of the rare knowledge and chosen us to be the recipient of this knowledge. Naham karta hari preranaya hari prityartam. Shri Krishna arpanamastu idam namama. Om Tat Sat. So once again, good evening to all of you. I hope you all got a grasp of what is being told, but now it's in your hands. The more you practice, you'll be able to get the hang of the whole knowledge. Thank you. Shri Krishna Namaste.
सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवो